There are lots of film festivals out there, and one in particular is by activists for activists. It's called the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, and festival goers are encouraged to learn more about what they can do to save our planet through film. Joining me today is cinematic activist Jim Thibault, whose film, Beyond the Brink, California's Watershed, highlights the devastating effects of climate change. Welcome to the show, Jim. I know you said you call climate change, you're calling it climate crisis.
Well, I think it's evolving into a crisis. We can see Australia and the tragedies we've had here and in other places, regions of the world. Is clearly.
Why don't you fill our audience in on just what exactly is the California watershed, why it's important, and why you chose to make this documentary?
Well, I was doing several films on water and energy in California, particularly California agriculture. But then I've evolved into naturally the watershed, which supplies the water for our fields, but it also provides water to Los Angeles, San Francisco. California is the fifth largest economy in the world, and we wouldn't be the fifth largest economy in the world if it wasn't for the watershed. So
right, so it's all tied in. We're actually taking looks at clips from your documentary right now. How is this climate crisis going to affect the Sierra snowbanks, and what does that mean for us that live here in California?
Well, there's a phenomenal phenomenon going on, and that is that water. Usually when water comes down as snow. But now it's evolving into more water, more rain than snow, and that has an impact on the entire ecological system. And so the ecological system it's warming. Last year was the warmest year on record, the second warmest year on record. And so it's obviously having a major impact on the entire ecological system, and particularly.
You mentioned how warm it's been, the temperature, and what goes hand in hand is then we have dry brush, dry grass, and then there's wildfires. How does it all tie in?
Well, the fact is that we have neglected the watershed for years, and it's been overgrown, and so it has to be thinned out. And in fact, one of the entities that I'm featuring is Yuba County, which is doing something about it.
Okay.
They're going in and thinning the forest, which has to be done. And so these are the kinds of things that got to be done immediately, like yesterday.
And you mentioned earlier, we see what's going on in Australia. What's the correlation with California?
Well, the correlation is it's the same climate. It's Mediterranean climate. There are 5 regions in the world. And what makes it important is that those are our food baskets. And this is where California supplies food for the country, as well as much of the United States. Australia supplies food. We're talking about food security.
Right, so it all has a chain effect, and it's something, obviously you're doing this film and you want people to take it a little more seriously and know exactly what's going on.
It has to be taken seriously. I could go off into a tangent and talk about these kinds of things.
Well, let's talk about the film festival, because you're on your way up to Nevada City to show this film. And what does it mean to be able to share it through the film festival?
Well, I think it's important. In fact, it's not only me, it's other filmmakers are going to be showing their films on the watershed, on the fires, and there will be a panel discussion included in that with prominent members of the academic community.
All right, so if someone wants to go out there, they can check out the film festival. That's this weekend, and anyone can attend, and then they can also catch this. It's airing locally on some PBS stations.
It's going to be locally on KVIE, PBS station for Sacramento.
All right, so what's next for you? What's the next one?
We'll be doing another film on the watershed, getting more into solutions, and then I'm putting together a massive project for educating kids about all of these issues, because the kids are going to be our future leaders.
True. Great. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing some information about the film festival and about your film, and best of luck to you as you continue to explore the topic.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And for more information, you can go to wildandscenicfilmfestival.org.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.